Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala amma ba'du. Then yesterday we completed the reading of Mutaffifin and continued in the i'rab of the ayat, and we reached ayat number 25, correct? Abdullah?
I believe so.
I believe so too. Just want to make a quick point. I was sitting with two of the mashayikh last night and a couple other brothers having iftar, and we were just talking about i'rab, and I said something like when we make i'rab and stuff, and just talking about the class that we have, and I said, and I repeated what I say in class many times, which is, for instance, rahikim, for example, is majroor with a kasra, or majroor bil kasra. With a kasra in English might not be that bad, but even still it's not that good. So basically you would say majroor or ismun majroorun, right? B harf jar, meaning the reason that it is majroor, this B here means that I translate as with, is because of the harf jar, right? And then I say with, meaning the kasras, but technically in Arabic you say wa alamatu jarrihi, and the sign of its jar is a kasra dhahira, right? So when I say majroor with a kasra, technically that's wrong. It's majroor with min, or because of min, and the sign of it being majroor is the kasra dhahira. And every once in a while I translate it like that, but anyway, inshallah I'll try to do better in saying it, just so there's no confusion. But there are people who teach it like that, that is majroor with majroor bil kasra, but this is incorrect. It's majroor bi min, bi harf jar, min, wa alamatu jarrihi, and the sign of it being majroor is the kasra dhahira, the apparent kasra, like this. So I'm gonna try my best to do better, that way if you get into the i'rab more, you'll be able to say it correctly instead of the way I've been saying it incorrectly, inshallah. So he started here, khitamahu misk. Khitam is referring back to the ayat above it, talking about they will be given this rahiq makhtum, this sealed nectar, this wine which has been sealed. Khitam is a mubtada, right? Marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-damma dhahira, and the sign of it being marfu' is the dhamma, the apparent dhamma. Hu, right, is a damir muttasil fi mahal al-jar mudaf ilay, right? It's a damir muttasil mabni ala dhamma. It's always going to have that dhamma. It's an attached pronoun. في محل الجار مضاف إليه. ختامه, its seal, its khitam, and this shows possession. Misk here is your khabar, right? This is your khabar, marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma dhahira, right? And together, khitamuhu misk is a sifa of rahiq, right? It's a sifa of rahiq. Fi wa fi dhalika, wow is a wow istinafiya, or a wow atf, either connection, either continuation or connection. Fi is a harf jar mabni ala sukun. Dhalika is an ismu ishara. Of course, dal, lam, and kaf all have different things. It can be dhaliki, right? It can be dhak without the lam, and so, but just for ease right now, we say dhalika is an ismu ishara, right? Mabni ala fatha fi mahal jar, right? Why is it majroor? Because it comes after fi, right? And the noun after fi is majroor. فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ, the fa is a isti'nafiya, it is continuation, right? And it could be atf as well, connection. The lam here is the lam of amr, the lam of command, right? It turns the verb into a command and it makes it majzoom. However, this kasra here is to prevent iltiqa as-sakinain, the meeting of two sukoons, right? Otherwise, there would be a sukoon on that scene. فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ or فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ. فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ is a fil mudari'. It is a present tense verb. Majzoom bil-lam al-amr. So you say majzoom, not bis-sukoon, but bil-lam al-amr. Majzoom because of the lam al-amr. Wa alamatu jazmihi as-sukoon. Right? And the sign of it being majzoom is the sukoon. But here the kasra is for preventing the two sukoons. Al-Mutaffifin. Al-Mutaffifin is the fa'il. Right? It is the fa'il of فَلْيَتَنَافَسِ. The fa'il, and the fa'il is marfu'. And the alamatu raf'ihi is the wow. The wow. Otherwise, if it was mansub or majroor, then alamatu nasbihi wa alamatu jarrihi would be the ya. فَلْيَتَنَافَ al-Mutaffifin, right? Like this. Right? Al-Mutaffifin. But here, since it's Mutaffifin, it is marfu', right? Wa alamatu raf'ihi al-wow. Any questions?
Yeah.
Wa mizajuhu, wa is a harf atf, a connecting letter. Mizaj is a mubtada, marfu', wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-damma dhahira. Ha is a damir muttasil fi mahal jar mudaf ilay. Is a connected pronoun in the position of being majroor, even though it is mabni ala damma. It is in the position of being majroor because it is mudaf ilay. Right? Min tasneem. Min is a harf jar, mabni ala sukoon. It's not written here because of tajweed purposes. There's a rule called ikhfa. The noon sakin followed by a ta has the rule of ikhfa, so they're not going to write it there for letting you know that rule exists. Tasneem is an ismu majroor, but in regular Arabic, not the Quran, it would be written in an old mushaf before they started including the rules of tajweed in these different ways. Then you would have seen it. A Pakistani mushaf, or the one that has like the Urdu script, then it will have the sukoon there, right? Min tasneem. Tasneem is an ismu majroor bi min. It's majroor bi min. It's majroor because of the min. Wal alamatu jarrihi al kasra al dhahira. Right? Mizaj was a mubtada, marfu', wa alamatu rafihi al dhamma. Min tasneem, it will be called shibhu jumla, a phrase, khabar. This is your khabar. Aynan. Now this word is giving me a little bit of problems trying to look it up. And there are a number of different opinions, right, about it. But the best one, it seems to be, is it is a maf'ulun bihi. The maf'ulun bihi, right? And the fi'l and the fi'l is mahdhuf, right? For instance, basically they're going to pour from this ayn or something like this, right? Something along that line, that the fi'l is mahdhuf, meaning is dropped, right? They're going to be given from what? This ayn, right? Yusqawna yusqawna aynan, for example, right? They're going to be given to drink aynan. This spring. Ayn. It's a spring, right? So it could go back all the way up to that yusqawn, or it could be like something repeated again here. But why is it mansoob? There's nothing in front of it that is making it mansoob, and there are a number of different opinions. The best one seems to be that something is mahdhuf or dropped, or that what is dropped could go back all the way up to here, like yusqawna aynan. They'll be given to drink from this spring, right? They'll be given a spring to drink. مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه فتحة ظاهرة. يشرب is فعل مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة. It is a present tense verb, and the sign of it being مرفوع is a dhamma, apparent dhamma. بها ba is a harf jar مبني على كسرة. ha is a damir متصل مبني على سكون, an attached pronoun مبني على سكون في محل الجار, in the position of being majroor. B or B harf jar, B with the preposition وعلامة, and there is no alama here, right? Because it is mabni. Al-Muqarrabun is your fa'il of yashrabu, right? And it is marfu', and وعلامة رفعه al-waw. Otherwise it would be al-muqarrabin if it was mansoob or majroor.
Oh, that yashrabu again, because you're breaking up.
Yashrabu fil mudari, present tense verb, marfu' wa dhamma, or marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma dhahira. The sign of it being marfu' is an apparent clear dhamma. Right? Al-Muqarrabun is your fa'il, marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi al-waw. Inna alladhina, inna is a harf nasikh wa nasib yufid at-tawkid, meaning it is something that's making the sentence after it come from a nominal sentence. It's going to make it ismu inna. The mubtada is going to become ismu inna, and the khabar is going to become khabru inna. Ismu inna is going to be mansoob, and khabru inna is going to stay marfu', and inna itself benefits us emphasis. Alladhina is ismu mawsul. It is a connecting noun. Mabni ala fatha. It is mabni ala fatha. Right? It's always going to have that. However, here it's in a position of being fi mahal nasb, ismu inna. It's in a position of being mansoob because it is ismu inna. Ajramu is a fil madi mabni ala dhamma liittisalihi bi waw al-jama'. Ajramu is a past tense verb. It is mabni ala dhamma. Why? Because of the waw al-jama' being attached to it. Normally, if we said ajrama as a past tense verb, it's mabni ala fatha. But because we added the waw al-jama', it became ajramu. Right? Ajramu. So it's mabni ala dhamma liittisalihi bi waw al-jama'. And the waw al-jama' is the damir muttasil fi mahal raf fa'il. The waw is the damir, it's the pronoun here, built into the verb, fi mahal raf, in a position of being marfu' fa'il, because it is your doer of the verb here. Kanu, and kanu is a fil madi, again, mabni ala dhamma. Why mabni ala dhamma? Li'ittisalihi bi waw al-jama', because the waw al-jama' is attached to it. Right? Otherwise it was kana, mabni ala fatha. When we added the waw al-jama' became kanu. Right? And the waw al-jama' is a damir muttasil. Right? As a damir muttasil fi mahal raf fa'il. Well, here it is ismu kana. Here it would become ismu kana. Right? Ismu kana is your Wow is your ismu kana, and ismu kana is marfu', right? Khabaru kana becomes mansub. Min is harf jar mabni ala sukoon. Here, the fatha here is to prevent the two sukoons from being next to one another, but min is mabni ala sukoon. Alladhina is an ismu mawsul mabni ala fatha fi mahal jar, but after min. It's in the position of being majroor after min, although it is mabni ala on this fatha. Amanu is a fil madi mabni ala dhamma. Mabni ala dhamma. Why is it mabni ala dhamma? Li'ittisalihi bi waw jama', because of its connection there. Otherwise it would be amana. Right? Mabni ala fatha. When we added the waw, became amanu. Right? And the waw or jama' is a damir muttasal. Right? Fi mahal raf fa'il. In the position of being marfu' since it is the fa'il. Yadhakun. Yadhakun is a fil mudari, a present tense verb. Marfu'. It is marfu'. Wa alamatu raf'ihi thubut an-nun. The sign of it being marfu' is the presence of that noon that is there, because it's from the af'al al-khamsa. Right? The fa'il here is a damir muttasal. It's the waw fi mahal raf fa'il. Wa idha, waw is harf atf. Idha is a dharf zaman mansub, although idha is mabni ala sukoon, but it's fi mahal nasb mansub. It's in the position of being mansub. Marru is a fil madi mabni ala dhamma. Why mabni ala dhamma? Li'ittisalihi bi waw jama'. Li'ittisalihi bi waw al-jama'. Right? Otherwise it would be marra. When we add the waw, we say marru. So it is a fil madi mabni ala dhamma li'ittisalihi bi waw jama'. The fa'il here is the waw, the damir muttasal fi mahal raf fa'il. Bihim, B is a harf jar mabni ala kasra. Him is a damir muttasal, an attached pronoun mabni ala sukoon fi mahal jar بعد harf jar, in the position of being majroor after the preposition. Yataghamazun is a fil mudari. It's a present tense verb. Marfu'. Give me 1 second. I'll finish this word and I'll answer that inshallah. Yataghamazun is a fil mudari. مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الثبوت النون. Right? And the fa'il is the waw jama' fi mahal raf fa'il. Which can are you talking about? Kanu here, as I said, kanu. Then the khabar of kana. The khabar of kana is going to be min alladhina. Shibhu jumla khabar. Khabaru kana. As for inna, then inna alladhina ajramu. Ajramu is a complete sentence. You have your fi'l and your fa'il, right? And this is going to be your khabaru inna. Jazakallahu khairan. Any other questions? وإذا واو is حرف عطف. إذا is a ظرف الزمان مبني على سكون في محل النصب. Right? في محل النصب. انقلبوا is a فعل ماضي مبني على ضمة. Why? لاتصاله بواو جماع, because of واو جماع. Otherwise it was انقلبا مبني على فتح. When we added the waw, it's inqalabu. When we say, for instance, when we say inqalabtu or inqalabta, right? Inqalabtu, ta, ti. tum, right? Tuma, right? All of those. Inqalabna. It's going to be mabni ala sukun. Why? Li'tisalihi bita or na or tum or whatever the case might be, right? And inshallah ta'ala, if you one day we can go over the chart and see what's mabni and why is it mabni. We did all that inside our verb today though. Okay, ila is a harf jar, mabni ala sukun on that alif, right? Ila ahlihi, ahlihim, ahlihim, ahli is ismu majroor, majroor ba'da harf jar, or majroor bi harf jar. It is majroor because of the harf jar. Wa alamatu jarrihi al kasra al zahira, and the sign of it being majroor is the apparent kasra there. Him is a damir muttasil, an attached pronoun, right? Mabni ala sukun. The dhamma here is for preventing two sukuns from being next to one another. But him here is mabni ala sukun fi mahal jar, in a position of being majroor, right? Mudaf ilay. Inqalabu is the exact same. Inqalabu fil madi mabni ala dhamma li ittisalihi bi waw jama'. The fa'il is waw, the jama' marfu'. Fakihin. Fakihin is your hal. How are they returning to their family? How are they turning around and going back to their family? Fakihin. And the hal, as we explained, is mansub, right? Wa alamatu nasbihi al-ya. Al-ya. Otherwise it would be fakihun. But here it's fakihin, because it's from the Jam' Mudhakkar Salim, and that's what happens, right? Wa idha ra'awhum, wa is a harf atf, idha is a dharf zaman, mabni ala sukun fi mahal nasb. Ra'awhum, ra'aw is a fil madi, mabni ala dhamma, li'ittisalihi a waw jama', right? Right. However, here in this form of the verb, right, you don't get to see it. You don't get to see the dhamma there, which but is mabni ala dhamma. Or maybe for this verb, maybe, I don't know. Give me 1 second. Let me look at another place. Which ayat is this? 32. Okay, here they're saying mabni ala dhamma muqaddara, right? Ala dhamma muqaddara, right? Yeah, that's how they said it here. مبني على الضمة مقدرة يجوز أن يكون مرفوع للكفار منسوب المؤمنين يجوز عكس الجملة في طيب. That's a little bit confusing to me, even though I understand the rule there, being that it's a weak word, a weak verb because of the alif at the end of it. Okay, I get it now. I get it. Ra'a, I get it. Ra'a is like this, right? So what happened is Ra'a, if we have, for instance, let's see, Jalasu, right? We have Jalasa, that's clear. Fatta, Zahira. Ra'a is a Fatta Muqaddara on the past tense verb. So when I add this, Jalasu, right? Jalasu, then it becomes mabni ala dhamma, right? Because of the waw jama'. So when I add ra'aw, basically I drop my alif. So it's there, it's still muqaddara. The dhamma is still muqaddara, but that whole letter is dropped. We had that previously in one other word. I can't remember what it is right now, but we had that previously. So it's mabni ala dhamma muqaddara, right? And the whole alif where it would even sit on is dropped because of the iltiqa sakinain. So we have, for instance, ra'a, like this. So both of these are, with sukoons. So we got to drop one of them. This is the waw jamaat. This is your file. We can't drop it, so we drop this one, right? And this is where the dhamma would sit, but we dropped it. So both, it's muqaddara. It makes more sense now. Just got to talk my way through it. وَإِذَا رَأَوْهُمْ رَأَوْ, right? رَأَوْ hum is a damir muttasib mabni ala sukoon fi mahal nasb maf'ulun bihi. It is the object of the verb. قالوا fil madi, it's a past tense verb, mabni ala dhamma. Why? Ittisalihi bi waw jama', because of the waw jama'. And the waw is a damir muttasif fi mahal raf fa'il. Inna is a harf nasikh wa nasib yufid tawkid, right? Ha'ula'i is an ismu ishara. Ismu ishara mabni ala kasra. It's always going to have this kasra. Ha'ulai. Always. No matter what position it's in. Here, it's in the position of being fi mahal nasb ismu inna. It's in the position of being mansub because it is ismu inna. La dalun. The lam here is a lam at tawkid. And dalun is khabaru inna. Marfu'. Wa alamatu raf'ihi al-waw. Otherwise it would be dalin, like in Al-Fatiha. Wa ma ursilu. Wa is harfu atf. Ma is a nafiya. It is a negation. Ursilu is a fil madi. Mabni lil majhul. Mabni ala dhamma. Mabni ala dhamma. Why? Li'tisalihi bi waw jama'. It's a passive verb. And they were not sent over them as guards. Right? وَمَا أُرْسِلُوا. It is majhul. And the waw here is the waw fa'il. Waw jama' is the damir muttasil. Fa'il marfu'. Alayhim. Ala is harf jar. Mabni ala sukoon. Him is the damir muttasil. Mabni ala sukoon. Fi mahal jar. Bi harf jar. It's in the position of being majroor with the harf jar. But since it's mabni, there is no sign. Hafidhin. Hafidhin is the hal. They were not sent over them. And in the way they were not sent over them as hafidhin. Mansub. The hal is mansub. Here, hafidhin is mansub. Wa alamatu nasbihi al-ya. Otherwise it would be hafidhun. Right? Hafidhun if it was marfu'. Any questions so far? Is it a little clearer today? I don't know. What's that, a wow? The wow on ursilu. Okay. I don't know what your question is. The waw on the ursilu is the damir muttasil fi mahal raf, na'ib fa'il. I might have said fa'il, but na'ib fa'il. The na'ib fa'il. They weren't sent. Who was not sent? Hum. And is represented. Hum is represented by the waw, right? Na'ib fa'il. No. Falyom. Falyom fa is isti'nafiya, meaning continuation. Al-yom is a dharf zaman, mansub wa alamatu nasbihi al-fatha. Alladhina ismu mawsul fi mahal raf mubtada. Mubtada, right? It's mabni ala fatha fi mahal raf, right? Fi mahal raf mubtada. Amanu. Amanu is a fil madi, mabni ala dhamma. Why? لِإِتِّصَالِهِ بِوَاوْ جَمَاعٍ. Waw jama' is a damir muttasil fi mahal raf fa'il. Right? Min is harf jar, mabni ala sukoon. The fatha there is for preventing the iltiqa sakinain, the meeting of the two sukoons. Al-Kufari is ismu majroor bi min wa alamatu jarrihi al-kasra al-zahira. Right? Yadhakun is a fil mudari marfu'. It is a present tense verb marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi thubut an-nun. Thubut an-nun. Right? والواو ضمير متصل في محل رفع فاعل, and the word يضحكون, it contains the fi'l and the fa'il, so it is a complete sentence. They're laughing, or they are laughing. Is it in a position of being marfu' في محل رفع خبر الذين. We said this is your mubtada, this is your khabar. الذين يضحكون, those who are laughing. على الأرائك, على is a harf jar, مبني على سكون, on that alif maksura. الأرائك is اسم مجرور وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة. ينظرون is a فعل مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه الثبوت النون, the existence of the presence of the noon, and the fa'il is the waw jama' fi mahal raf fa'il. Hal is a harf istifham, it's asking a question. Thuwiba is a fil madi mabni lil majhul mabni ala fatha, it is majhul. Right? Will they be rewarded, or have they been rewarded? Al-Kuffar, which if the verb wasn't majhul would be the object here, it becomes na'ib fa'il marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-damma zahira. Right? Wa ma, there is no wa. Ma ismu mawsul mabni ala sukoon, it's always going to have a sukoon at an alif. Fi mahal nas maf'ulun bihi, have they been rewarded? What? Right? What? Maf'ulun bihi mansub. كانوا is a فعل ماضي مبني على ضمة لاتصاله بواو الجماعة. الواو الجماعة is a ضمير متصل في محل الرفع. اسم كان يفعلون is a فعل مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ثبوت النون. The fa'il is the واو الجماعة في محل رفع فاعل, and يفعلون is خبر كان منصوب. Any questions?
Nah.
I'm trying to take my time today and say it a little bit slower and just kind of rush through it. I'm trying to say it, plus it'll help me to not brush over and say marfu bi dhamma and like this, but I'm trying to make it a little slower and make it a little clearer. Hopefully it's beneficial. Okay, here we are on Surah Al-Inshiqaq. Suratul Inshiqaq. Inshiqaq comes from Sheen Qaf, meaning to split. Right? Inshiqaq is form 7. This is from form 7. Form 7, the surah of the splitting, right? Or splitting asunder, as I believe I read before in English, right? Allah Azza wa Jalla says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. إِذَا السَّمَاءٌ شَقَّتْ. إِذَا is when, as-sama, the skies, right? The sky, right? And shaqqat, meaning when it splits, right? وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَهُقَّتْ. وَأَذِنَتْ is coming from alif, dhal, noon, like the word permission, right? وَأَذِنَتْ, right? To be given permission and to be allowed, right? And here in the translation, it says that they will listen. لِرَبِّهَا, to their Lord, right? وَهُقَّتْ. Huqqat comes from ha, qaf. like the word haq. But it could also mean something is a right, something is necessary. Here it is majhul, it is passive. So it means, and it was necessary for this sky to split asunder. It was listening and obeying its Lord. Right? It was listening and obeying, listening, adina, like the word udhun, ear, right? It was listening to its Lord, wa huqqat, and it was necessary, it was obligatory that it would do so, meaning listen to its Lord, meaning when it split. Wa idhal ardu muddat, and when the earth muddat, and this is passive as well. It's from the roots med, like ma, mim, dal with a shadda, just like the med that we find over certain places, right? I'm trying to find one in here, right here, like this med, which means you elongate or prolong or stretch it out, right? When the earth becomes stretched out, meaning when it becomes flat, the earth will be stretched out and made flat. وَإِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ, when it is flattened and lengthened, right? وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا وَتَخَلَّتْ وَأَلْقَتْ. Alqat comes from laqiya, but form 4, right? Form 4, alqa, which means to throw out or to cast off something, to push it forth, to throw it. وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا, and when it threw out, and again this is in the past tense, but it's talking about the day of judgment. It has not happened yet. وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا, and when it kicks out, when it pushes out, throws up what is in it, meaning of the bodies and so forth that need to be resurrected, right? وَتَخَلَّتْ, takhallat comes from kha lam waw, meaning to be free, to be empty. But takhallat, and it gets emptied and becomes free of its burdens, right? Wa adhinat li rabbiha wa huqqat, and it listened to its Lord and it was necessary, it was obliged that it do so. Same ayah. Ya ayyuhal insan, O mankind. And here Allah Azza wa Jal is also talking to the jinn. As we know, the Quran is for mankind and jinn. Right? Ya ayyuhal insanu innaka kadihun ila rabbika kadhan famulaqi. Innaka, indeed you, kadihun, from kaf dal ha, meaning you are exerting some effort. You are putting in effort. You are striving, right? You are striving and toiling in things, right? Innaka kadihun, you are a striver, ila rabbika, meaning to your Lord. You are going, you are putting in efforts, you are going to your Lord. Kadhan. Kadhan is just it's going to be here like a maf'ulun mutlaq, right? But it is basically just describing how you're going to him with some serious efforts. Famulaqi, from again lam qaf ya, meaning to meet, right? This is form 1 though. Famulaqi, then you are going to meet him. You are going to actually from form 3 of the verb, I'm sorry, not form 1, laqi, because of the alif. Famulaqi, you are going to meet him. You are going to meet your Lord. You are every day moving forward and doing things towards your Lord. You are carrying your deeds towards your Lord, and you are going to meet him. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ, فَأَمَّا, then as for men, then as for whoever, utiya, from ata, meaning to give, right? To give. Utiya is passive. Whoever was given kitabahu, his book, biyaminihi, in his right hand, his yamin, right? Kul biyaminik. فَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ بِيَمِينِهِ, whoever is given his book in his right, فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ حِسَابًا يَسِيرًا, then فَسَوْفَ is then it's going to be in the future. يُحَاسَبُ coming from ha sin ba, meaning to be account, to be held accountable. He's going to be his accounting, he's going to be dealt with, right? He's going to be called to account. Hisaban yasira, an easy accounting, meaning he's going to have an easy time on the day of judgment. فَسَوْفَ يُحَاسَبُ hisaban yasira, he's going to be given a easy accounting. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. وَيَنْقَلِبُ, and we had this just in the previous surah, and he's going to turn. He's going to turn. وَيَنْقَلِبُ إِلَى أَهْلِهِ, to his family. مَسْرُورًا, from sin ra, but here masroor means happy, right? Masroor means happy. He's going to return to his family happy, meaning in Jannah, his wives in Jannah, the Hur'ain in Jannah. The woman's going to return to her husband happy if she gets her book in her right hand. وَأَمَّا مَنْ أُوتِيَ كِتَابَهُ وَرَاءَ ظَهْرِ. And as for the one who's given his book, wara. Wara means behind. Wara coming from waw, ra, alif, right? Alif maksura. Wara dhahrihi. Dhahr is his back. His back. Dhahr. Whoever's given his book behind his back, right? And they say in the tafsir that this is because his right hand is going to be tied to his neck. He's not going to be able to take it with his right hand. His right hand will be tied to his neck. And in some of the ayat it says bishimalihi, with his left hand, right? He takes it with his left hand, right? So why is it wara'a dhahrihi? If he's taking it with his left hand, what's the purpose of it being behind the back or being stated like that? Is that he's not going to want his book. When he sees what he's done and he knows what he's done and he's had that door open to him in his grave to the hellfire, and he knows that he's not receiving his book with his right hand, he's going to run away. He's going to run away and not want to receive his book. And so it's going to be flung at him and like stuck into his back, and he's going to have to use his left hand to pull it out. This is the meaning of wara'a dhahri. He's going to run away. He's not going to want to take his book. فَسَوْفَ يَدْعُو ثُبُورًا. فَسَوْفَ, then he, and then sofa means in the future, yad'u from like the word dua, he's going to call for thubura from tha ba ra, meaning destruction. He's going to call for destruction upon himself. وَيَصْلَى سَعِيرًا. وَيَصْلَى, as we said, is to turn and to face the fire, right? To turn and to face the fire. And it means to enter it, but first you have to be faced towards it, or like this, right? Sa'ira is from Sin Ain Ra, meaning the burning, blazing fire. إِنَّهُ كَانَ فِي أَهْلِهِ مَسْرُورًا. Indeed, kana. Indeed, he was. Fi ahlihi. He was with his family, masrura, meaning in this life. In this life, he was following his desires, doing anything he wanted to do. He was happy in this life, right? Doing anything and everything, right? إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَن لَن يَحُورَ. إِنَّهُ ظَنَّ أَن لَن يَحُورَ. He thought, indeed he thought, ظَنَّ, he thought, and lan, that he, in lan is a negation, yahur. Yahur from ha wa ra, meaning to return. Raja'a. He thought he would not return. He thought he would not return to us, so he was doing anything and everything he wanted to do in this life. And so because of that, his book is going to be given to him in his left hand behind his back. Bala. Bala. Rather. Inna rabbahu kana bihi basira. Indeed, his Lord kana bihi basira. He was with him. Basira, meaning seeing. He was seeing him. Indeed, his Lord was watching him. Indeed, his Lord was basically all seeing of him, right? فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِالشَّفَقِ فَلَا, and this lam here does not mean no, rather it's an emphasis of uqsimu. So indeed I swear, bishafaq. Bishafaq, a shafaq from sheen, fa, qaf, is the redness in the sky after the sun sets. After the sun sets, the redness in the sky, like from Maghrib until Isha, that redness in the sky. So Allah is swearing by that redness in the sky. وَاللَّيْلِ وَمَا وَسَقَ, and the night. وَمَا وَسَقَ, wasaqa means to gather things, to engulf things, to load up things. So and we said that the night is like a cover, right? We said the night is like a cover, so everything in it would be like loaded up under the night as the night overtakes, right? Like a cover is spread over a person, then it engulfs the body. So as the night engulfs the earth, that all of that stuff. So Allah is swearing by layli wa ma wasaq, meaning everything that the night covers, the earth basically. Wal qamari idha tasaq, and the moon idha tasaq, from the same root here, right? Waw, sin, qaf, except this is form 8. It tasaq means to become full. In the moon, when it becomes full. La tarkabunna tabaqan an tabaq. La tarkabunna, this noon, as we're going to see, is the noon of tawkid, of emphasis, right? From rakaba, meaning to ride. You're going to embark. You're going to ride. And the lam is lam of emphasis. Lam, la tarkabunna tabaqan. You're going to ride or embark. Tabaq is a stage or a level. Level upon level. Meaning in this life, you were nothing, you were created, you were a baby, you were a nutfa, then a alaq, and then a mudgha, right? And then you became a baby, then a teenager, then a man, then an old man. You can't control yourself, and you die, you get resurrected. All these are tabaqat. All these are levels, right? You're going to ride these levels. You're going to live through these stages. فَمَا لَهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. فَمَا, so what? لَهُمْ, so what is with them? لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, that they don't believe. So what is with them that they don't believe? وَإِذَا قُرِيَ, وَإِذَا, and when قُرِيَ, not قَرَأَ, he read, but قُرِيَ, right? It is read, عَلَيْهِمْ. When it is read upon them, what is read upon them? The Quran, not if'al marfu', right? When it is read upon them, la yasjudun. La yasjudun. Here, yasjudun could be meaning why don't they submit, right? Meaning why don't they submit when they hear the Quran? How come they don't submit? Or it could be more specific when they hear an ayat of prostration. How come they do not prostrate? And we have this here showing us that we should make sajda. This line over it is something Shaykh Al-Albani spoke about. Shaykh Al-Albani used to say, when you are taking notes, for instance, you want to underline, this word sayyat, so you can look it up. You don't underline it, you overline it. The Salaf used to overline. Underline, they say, it comes from the West, comes from the Gharb, whereas overlining is from the Salaf. And the proof that they use is look in the Mus'haf when they want to show a sajda, they overline or underline it. They overline it. This is how the Muslims in the past used to do it. It's not something that's gonna, you're not Salafi, you're not a Muslim because you're underlining. No, but the way you want to return to the best, and they have the best ways, then you overline, inshallah. Bal alladhina kafaru. Bal is rather, or nay, it's not like that. Rather, alladhina kafaru yukadhibun. Those who disbelieve. Yukadhibun. They deny. They deny it. They deny it. They claim it's false. Wallahu a'lamu. And Allah, He knows best. A'lam. Wallahu a'lam. And Allah knows best. Bima yu'un. Bima with what? Yu'un. Yu'un is from awa. And we said this is like when a person goes to his bed, he seeks this refuge, or ma'wa, as we have in the Quran. Right? فَإِنَّ الْجَنَّةَ هِيَ الْمَأْوَى. Then Jannah is its place of refuge. Yu'un here means, and it's coming from there, however, Allah knows best basically in what they seek refuge. It's translated here as what they harbor or what they do, but it means in what they seek refuge, meaning their actions and so on and so forth. Allah knows best in what they thought that they were going to be safe with their money and their wealth and all of that. Allah knows best. فَبَشِّرْهُمْ فَبَشِّرْهُمْ. Bashir is form 2. It's a command verb, right? From bashara, to give glad tidings. فَبَشِّرْهُمْ. So give them glad tidings. بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. So here Allah is like being sarcastic with them because of how He was with them. He is returning it. فَبَشِّرْهُمْ. Right? So give them glad tidings of the hellfire. They thought they were going to live forever. Tell them this is what they're going to do, of a painful punishment. Adhab is punishment. Alim is painful. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا. Except those who believe. وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ. Right? Except those who believe and perform righteous actions. لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ. For them is a reward. غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. And we had غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ in earlier on in Juz Amma. غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ in Surah Teen. Right? لَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ. That they have a reward غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ without limits. Without limits, without stopping or ending. Any questions?
Nah.
طيب. We got about 5 or 6 minutes left. Actually, we got like 8 minutes left from the time we started for an hour. Let's get what we can get done, man. Let's get what we can get done, inshallah ta'ala. Let's try it. As we said, Surah Al-Inshiqaq is mudaf ilay. Inshiqaq is majroor. Right? وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة. طيب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إذا سماء شقت. إذا is a ظرف زمان مبني على سكون في محل النصب. Right? السماء is a فاعل مرفوع. Is your فاعل. And again, it is مرفوع. وعلامة رفعه الضمة الظاهرة. انشقت. انشقت is a فعل ماضي. It is a فعل ماضي. مبني على سكون. مبني على فتحة. مبني على فتحة. The ta is a ta ta'nith as-sakina, just because as-sama is a feminine word. وَأَذِنَتْ. Wa is a harf atf, is a connection word. أَذِنَتْ is a fi'l madi mabni ala fatha, and again that ta is a ta ta'nith as-sakina. لِرَبِّهَا. لِرَبِّهَا. The lam is a harf jar, right? Rabb is ismu majroor. وعلامة جره الكسرة الظاهرة. الظاهرة is an apparent kasra. Ha is a damir متصل, an attached pronoun مبني على سكون في محل الجار, in a position of being majroor مضاف إليه, because it's Lord, right? Shows possession. وحقت. Wa is harfu at. حقت is a fi'l madi مبني على فتحة. It is majhul, mabni lil majhul, mabni ala fatha, and the ta is a ta ta'nith as-sakina. Wa idha al-ardu muddat. Wa is harfu atf. Idha is a dharf zaman, mabni ala sukun fi mahal al-nasb. Right? Al-ardu is your fa'il, marfu, wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma, al-dhahira. Muddat. Muddat is your fi'l madi, past tense verb, mabni lil majhul. It is mabni ala fatha, right? It is passive and it's mabni ala fatha, and the ta'nith sakina, meaning it's feminine, right? Because ard is a feminine word. Wa alqat, wa is harf atf, a connecting word or connecting particle. Alqat is a fil madi mabni ala fatta muqaddara, right? Which alqa, and then we have this is what it would be if it was masculine, alqa, but then it became feminine, so we have to drop this alif here because we cannot have two sukoons next to one another, so we drop that, right? So it is mabni ala fatha muqaddara, right? Muqaddara because it's not there, and even if it was there, you cannot write it on that alif, right? And the ta is a ta ta'neeth, a sakina, just like the word we had before, ra'awhum, right, where we had the missing letter. Fiha is a harf jar, right? Fi is a harf jar, mabni ala sukoon, and the ha is a damir muttasil, is an attached pronoun, mabni ala sukoon, fi mahal al jar, in the position of being majroor after fi. Wa takhallat, wa is harf atf, right? Takhallat is a fil madi, it is a past tense verb, mabni ala fatha muqaddara, again because takhalla. But when we added the ta, we had to drop our, because this sukoon, we had to drop it, otherwise it would be takhalla. Even if it was there, right, you still wouldn't be able to write it because of the alif, it would still be muqaddara. The problem here is it's muqaddara on what? On a mahdhuf alif, on an alif which is mahdhuf, so it just makes it a little bit more confusing until we get used to it. We've had 3 or 4 of them now, so it's getting easier. Ta is a ta ta'neeth sakina. Wa adhinat li rabbiha wa huqqat, it's the same i'rab as up here. Wa is harf atf, adhinat is a fil madi mabni ala fatha, the ta is a ta ta'neeth sakina, li is a harf jar, rabbi ismu majroor wa alamatu jarri kasr dhahira, ha damir muttasil mabni ala sukoon fi mahal jar, wa huqqat was harf atf, huqqat is fil madi mabni ala fatha, and the ta is a ta ta'neeth sakina. Any questions? Ya ayyuhal insanu, right? Ya ayyuhal insanu, ya is an adatun nida, it means, oh, this is what you use to call someone. This ya is what you use to call out to someone, right? Ayyu is the munadi, meaning the one who is being called. Ayyu, ya is harfun nida. Ayyu is the munadi, the one being called, right? The one being called. Mabni ala dhamma, it's always going to have the dhamma. And it's in a position here of being mansoob. Why? Because it has ha attached to it, right? And we know that when there's something mudaf ilay after ya, then the first one becomes mansoob, right? Ya Abdallah, right? With a fatha on the dal. So we say Ya Aba Huraira, like this. The ha is a harf tanbih. The ha is a harf tanbih. Insan is basically a badal for a. Insan is basically a badal for a, right? So therefore it is going to be mansoob like it, right? Innaka, inna is harf nasikh, right? Harf nasikh, yufid at-tawkid, it benefits us tawkid. Ka is a damir muttasil fi mahal al-nasb, ismu inna, it's damir muttasil mabni ala fatha, right? Fi mahal al-nasb, ismu inna, in the position of being mansoob is ismu inna. Kadihun is khabaru inna, marfu wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-dhamma adh-dhahira, ila harf jar mabni ala sukun, rabbi is ismu majroor wa alamatu jarrihi al-kasra, and is majroor bi harf jar ila. Ka is a damir muttasil mabni,
I think the sister was asking a question there. That ain't. It looks like I ain't no game.
That's for why the ayn on you own. I don't understand. I can't. That's for down here below anyway, but I don't understand it. I don't understand the question. Why the ayn on you own? Let me scroll down for a second. See. You own. I don't understand. Why the ayn? It's part of the word. Oh. Yes, I don't know. I don't know what you're saying. Oh, I said it was from awa. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct. I messed up. If I said that, I messed up. Right? And I did. You own is coming from what ayah is that? 23. You own is actually from awa. I apologize. Awa, not awa, but awa, right? And I used the wrong word because I said it. Awa, and it's actually form 4 of wa'a, right? Wa'a, right? And it means here, I apologize. You own here, it means to retain in the memory something that you hold. Like, for instance, a bowl. A bowl is called a wi'a. A wi'a, right? A bowl is a wi'a. So something which holds something which holds and retains, like a bowl or a dish like this. So Wallahu a'lamu bima yu'un. Allah knows best that which they harbor and they hold. I apologize. I just said that word completely wrong. Jazakallahu khairan. Let's finish this ayat and then we reached our time. I hope that's clear. I said it wrong. Wafikum barakallah, where we were. Kadihun ila rabbika, right? This is your khabaru inna. Kadihun ila rabbika. Kadahan, right? Ila rabbika with kaf. We did all that, right? Rabbika, we did that. Kadahan. Kadahan is maf'ulun mutlaq, as I said earlier, right? Even though we don't have a verb here, right? It's coming from the word kadihun. The scholars disagree. Can a noun have a maf'ul? And here, because kadihun is a fa'il, basically, we can see it's on the scale of fa'il, right? That since it has that verb implied in it, then it can have a maf'ulun mutlaq. Therefore, it is maf'ulun mutlaq mansub, right? Wa alamatu nasbihi fatha al-zahira. فَمُلَاقِي, fa is istinafiya, meaning continuation. Therefore, mulaqi is an ismu. It is a noun, right? Ma'tuf on kadihun, right? It is marfu', but it is marfu' with a dhamma muqaddara, right? Muqaddara, because we cannot, it's difficult to pronounce it. Mulaqiyu, this is difficult to say, right? Not like the alif, which is impossible to write on it, but it's difficult to say. Mulaqiyu. So therefore, it is with a marfu' wa alamatu raf'ihi ad-damma muqaddara, right? And the ha here is a damir muttasil fi mahal jar mudaf ilay. Basically, you're going to be one who meets him. This is not a verb, but you're going to be one who meets him, right? Meets him, meaning meets your Lord. Stop there, inshallah. We'll be able to finish the rest tomorrow, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, and maybe read the next surah's English, and tafsir of it, inshallah ta'ala. Any questions?
So that's not a verb.
Mulaqi is a noun. No, mulaqi is a noun. It might be translated like indeed you are going to meet him, but indeed it means indeed fa mulaqi, you are a meter of him. You are one who is going to, you are one who is meeting with him, like this, right? But in English it's difficult to say that, you know. You know, you're like, for instance, he's a hitter. He's a hitter. It's, even though we say that like in baseball, he's a hitter. You know what I mean? Here, you're a meter of him, right? And we have words like that, like a greeter. You know, in Walmart, you got a greeter. Until Walmart, we probably didn't know what a greeter was. You know what I mean? We didn't use that word really. We don't use it outside of that person standing at the door in Walmart, a greeter, right? The same way we don't use the word hitter for someone outside of baseball, really. You know what I mean? Or some sport that might do that. We don't say a guy who beats his wife, he's a hitter, you know, or he's a beater. You know, we say he's a man who beats his wife. He beats his wife, even though it might have a noun. We don't use it. Here, there's a noun that they use, mulaqi. He's a meter of him. You're a meter of him, right? But we're not going to, like I said, we're not really going to say that in English. Allah knows best. طيب
طيب.
جزاكم الله خيرا سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته